Sound? Rolling!
Rolling!
Down speed.
Awesome. Take two.
And action!
We start tonight with that breaking news in Southern California.
Almost to the Pacific Ocean, behind me, the Edgewater Towers, a residential community. You can see the trees behind me is completely engulfed in flames. And
dog was in the apartment. We were going to break the door down. Yeah.
We are not out of danger. The National Weather Service has predicted that the winds are going to pick up and get worse.
Fear and concern is growing tonight as flames light up the Los Angeles hillsides. Firefighters are scrambling to contain several major fires tonight. Just into our newsroom, we are learning of another fire erupting, this time in Sylmar in the San Fernando Valley. Extremely strong winds are fanning the dangerous and potentially deadly flames that have already forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate.
And take a look. This is video of the flames burning at the Getty Villa Museum tonight. The president and CEO of the museum says some trees and vegetation burned, but good news is the galleries are protected.
And take a look at the latest numbers from CAL FIRE. The Palisades fire is now nearly 3,000 acres large, with evacuation orders impacting at least 30,000 people. There are no estimates on how many homes are destroyed or how many remain threatened. Pops, explosions, and flames sweeping through a Los Angeles hillside, dotted with celebrity homes as winds picked up Tuesday night. This is new video of the Palisades fire, showing thick smoke and powerful wind fueling massive flames you see here on the side of a highway. Homes are destroyed and tens of thousands of people remain under evacuation orders. Clogged roads forced some to abandon their cars and run for their lives.
The smoke just got really bad, so I just started packing up all of our stuff and we got in the car to go. And then all the cars were abandoned, so I had nowhere to go, so I just had to get out of my car and start walking. The smoke is so bad. I have no idea where we're going.
This is video of abandoned cars moved out of the way by a bulldozer to make a path for emergency vehicles. Fire trucks racing to the scene, aircraft attacking the fire from above.
We threw everything we had at it really quick. We knew that if we didn't get it in 20 minutes, it would go to hundreds of acres.
And I've seen tons of fires. This is nothing. I'm scared for my life. It's terrifying.
Actor James Woods posting this video of flames near his home.
We've got a lot of planes going over.
Firefighters in an all-out battle to save this shopping center, pulling hoses right through businesses, even using buckets at one point to stop the spread. The fire started around 10:30 Tuesday morning, erupting in the Pacific Palisades foothills west of Los Angeles, after what the National Weather Service calls the strongest windstorm to hit Southern California in more than a decade. Officials say the exact cause of the fire is not yet known.
We are looking at Skyfox over the Hollywood Hills. So during the time that press conference happened, there was a new fire that broke out in the Hollywood Hills. It was so dramatic that Kristen Crowley, the LAFD fire chief, had to leave the press conference to work with her crews on strategizing how to try to put this fire out, or at least contain the damage of it before it hits all of the homes that are nearby. So this is called the Sunset Fire. So we're now looking at the Sunset Fire, the Palisades Fire, the Eaton Fire, and the Hirsch Fire, all burning right now in Southern California. Some smaller fires burning as well, but this one is moving real fast, Marla.
Yeah, it's reported at 20 acres. I'll repeat myself and say, you know how quickly these things can get out of control. LAFD, obviously the lead agency, and there's word that with the close vicinity of homes in the Runyon Canyon area, that this could be threatening those homes imminently within 5 to 10 minutes if they're not already. So this has grown in size since we first got eyes on it, with Skyfox flying high above within the last 10 minutes or so, and it's quickly grown. We've seen some water drops, which is always a good thing. So there are aircraft flying above and dropping some water on it, but at this point that doesn't seem to be doing the trick, and we know that those winds are really bad, and they will continue to be. That red flag warning at least through your Thursday. That was supposed to expire right now at 6 p.m. on this Wednesday afternoon, but the National Weather Service said nope, the winds are not backing down, and so here we go. So the Hollywood Hills fire is now burning west of the Palisades fire, and that fire is still burning out of control. We heard from all of the fire officials, city and county, and the efforts that they're doing to put water and to put some containment lines around it, but we are a long ways away from that.
Michelle, I have never seen anything like this before. We were in front of this house not 20 minutes ago, and it was standing and fine. Now it is gone. Fire crews are stretched thin. More than 80,000 people have been evacuated, including several major celebrities.
It's just sad. It's just, I don't know what to do. Now they're waking up to which way the wind blows.
This looks like a movie set. Unfortunately, this is real.
People who were trying to evacuate, they panicked.
For Adam Brody and Leighton Meester, it was a total loss. 3 days after they were beaming at the Golden Globes, this is what was left of their Palisades home, once estimated to be worth more than $7 million.
There's a fire right over our house, so please say some prayers for us.
Reality stars Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag watched their Palisades home go up in flames.
All fun and games having 1,000 crystals until you're trying to pack them all because the fire's coming around the corner.
Not far from the terrifying scene, Derek Huff and wife Haley evacuated as winds hit 100 miles per hour. And celebrity chef Sandra Lee shared this frightening footage driving on PCH near her Malibu home.
I don't have a home anymore. My house is gone. It's literally gone. I've been crying all night, all the last 5 years of my life.
You know, while we were standing here, the fire jumped from that side of the street to right behind us. It is moving that fast. Now, earlier this morning, Michelle spoke to Steve Guttenberg. The actor is on the ground helping people who are being evacuated.
I have never seen anything like this. What about you?
Never. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen the town go on fire. I've never seen all these homes go on fire. And these winds are the hardest winds I've ever felt. The only winds I can compare them to is in South Africa, where they call them devil winds. I mean, these are just unbelievable, and people are just driving crazy and so panicked and nervous. And you all right?
Steve, what made you say I want to get on the ground and help and do whatever I can? What led you to this point?
Well, how can you not when someone's screaming and someone needs help? How can you not help? Everybody in my neighborhood, it's like a zombie land.
How is your home and how is your family?
I don't know. My family's okay. My wife and my dog are okay. They're down in Hermosa Beach. But I don't know about my home. I'm trying to get to it. I keep hearing rumors about my home, so I don't know.
But there was no mystery for actor James Woods. He posted this video of the flames near his home. He said losing everything in the fires tested his soul.
Standing in my driveway getting ready to evacuate.
This was also another scene earlier. This is when a lot of people had nowhere to go. They abandoned their cars because the flames were fast approaching. As a result, LA City Fire, they had to come in because the road was completely blocked. They bulldozed all the cars off to the side to make that emergency route to clear it out. Eric Scott of LAFD and LAPD Chief Jim McDonald, they were asked about this situation. Here's what they had to say.
So questions about abandoned cars, that's a good question that has come up. Law enforcement assists us heavily with evacuation, but please remember it's an active incident. We don't have the answers to all of these questions. We will certainly look at that. That's very important. I don't know if police felt like they wanted to make a mention to evacuations. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, just on that question of evacuations, vehicles left in the roadway. If you have to leave a vehicle in the roadway, get it as far off the road as you can so that emergency vehicles can't get by. The gist of moving them with bulldozers was an emergency situation. You got to get those fire resources through, and they do what they have to do to be able to facilitate that. So we're asking really for the cooperation and think a couple of steps ahead. It's not just your vehicle there, but then others line up behind you as well as they see what you're doing. And so I can't stress enough, please follow the evacuation orders. Do your best to be able to get out to safety. Bring the equipment you will need for the next couple of days with you, because as you've heard over and over again, this is not going to end very quickly.
But this is very, very, very dynamic. And you can just, by standing here, seeing us with the wind gusts and with the predictability of this wind's going to get worse tonight. So we want people to lean forward, ready, set, go, and be ready.
That was Chief Kristen Crowley from the Los Angeles Fire Department. Okay, so as we approach the top of the hour, a programming note. We've been on with fire coverage on Fox 11 since 10:30 in the morning. At the top of the hour, at 8 o'clock on Fox 11, we're going to go to our Fox primetime programming. But if you want to continue watching our coverage, you can flip over to channel 13, Fox 11 Plus, where we're already on. Some of you may already be watching us on channel 13.
It's shocking video showing the absolute devastation in the Pacific Palisades. The footage reveals mile after mile of scorched earth where beautiful homes once existed.
The devastation is complete and just jaw-dropping.
Officials now say thousands of structures have burned to the ground. Today, the Pacific Palisades is still on fire. The frustration, of course, is for firefighters. It's like a giant game of whack-a-mole. You never know where the fire is going to hopscotch. Hours ago, this house was fine, but it caught fire this morning. The entire house was decimated by flames. Dramatic footage shows a cliffside home engulfed in towering flames. It's a total loss. But less severe wind conditions did allow firefighters to finally gain the upper hand, launching water drops from helicopters to save the heart of Hollywood. Fury is growing today over the lack of water supply that has hindered firefighters as they battle fires around Los Angeles.
Our neighbor's house is going up. We're going up. There's no water.
This homeowner is irate as he records his house going up in flames while his 84-year-old father and his daughter try to douse the fire with a garden hose. Suddenly, he says, the water stops.
There's no water. I can't save my house.
He tried his best, but the water literally stopped. Not one fire truck.
Today, I found actor Steve Guttenberg with a shovel, putting out hot spots on his neighbor's property. When I grabbed a hose to help, I discovered no water.
Well, there's no water. Steve, there's no water. Was the water turned off recently, or is it just no pressure? There's no water at all up here.
At a press conference, LA's Mayor Karen Bass was hit with a barrage of questions about reports of fire hydrants running out of water.
The water problems are a little better now because the winds are such that we can go up and have the air support. And you know that that was the reason that the devastation was so bad, the unprecedented wind.
Thousands of Southern California residents have made harrowing escapes as devastating wildfires bear down on the Los Angeles area. Some fled by foot, some by car, and some by the grace of good Samaritans. There are now 6 fast-moving wildfires raging around LA County, including the Pacific Palisades blaze and the Eaton fire in Altadena. The 6th fire, called the Sunset Fire, broke out last night in the Hollywood Hills area. Officials say the fires have killed at least 5 people and have burned down nearly 2,000 homes and structures, including ones owned by celebrities Billy Crystal, Mandy Moore, and Paris Hilton.
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called the smelt. And for the sake of the smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California.
This firestorm is the big one in magnitude. Hurricane force winds are usually accompanied by rainstorms, but these are hurricane force winds that are combined with extremely dry drought conditions. To provide context, at 10:20 a.m. yesterday, the Palisades fire was at 10 acres. 12 minutes later, it was at 200 acres. I spoke with President Biden today and Governor Newsom earlier today, and they assured me of full federal and state support. If you have an evacuation warning, get ready to go.
Everybody's trying to get out. There's the big fire.
Well, it's kind of sad, you know. I mean, everybody's lost, not just this community. The community next door, I'm sure all the people up there have lost everything. It's just pretty devastating. This is pretty devastating. I don't think LA's seen anything like this before.
Had just come from my family home where my mother lives. That was burned to a crisp, so that was the initial shock value. And then I came up to my home and same thing, it's completely dust. So that's, I just had to see it with my own eyes to believe it.
Yeah, so the firefighters they've been really, really good to us, and they're under-resourced here because they're sending a lot of their troops to the front line. One of the firefighters told me, if I'm remembering correctly, they sent 500 engines to Topanga because that's where a lot of stuff is happening, and I'm grateful because that's where I live, and so I'm just grateful to know that there's a lot of people holding the line up there. But here they only have 2 engines for this whole neighborhood, and they're out of water. They ran out of water from the lines here, but they also don't have water in their trucks, and so they have been setting up pumps that go from the pools in the neighbors on either side of this house, and they've just been trying to keep it down. The fire is too big for 2 engines to be able to stop, but they're just trying to keep it down and prevent it from starting fires in the neighboring houses.
Let's bring in Pasadena Fire Chief Chad Augustin. Chief, thanks for joining us. We keep seeing 0% contained. We hear about low water pressure in the Pacific Palisades. Where does help coming? Where's help coming from, and what would it look like?
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me. I'm here at the iconic Rose Bowl, where just a week ago we were celebrating the parade and the Rose Bowl game, and this really is a worst case scenario. With, as you mentioned, 50, 60, 70 mile an hour wind gusts, a wind-driven fire. We've lost a significant amount of homes, and I would estimate we're going to need tomorrow morning daytime, but we're going to be in the 1,500 to 2,000 acres burned with 0% containment.
Yeah. Chief, have you ever in your life seen anything like this? I mean, the winds are coming out up to 99 miles per hour, and just pretty much everything in its path is going to burn because you can't stop it, and you're running out of water, and you don't have a lot of manpower. I mean, all hands on deck, but you need more.
Literally, as we were driving, and multiple houses on fire. Definitely the worst brush fire and worst incident that Pasadena has seen in its history.
Chief, can you explain the water pressure issue that we continue to hear?
Issues. The crews have been able to get water out of hydrants. The problem is that this is a wind-driven fire, and it's we're having spotting multiple miles ahead of a fire, and we could have another 500 firefighters here on this incident, and we still wouldn't be able to stop this fire. We really need the winds to die down. We need to get aircraft in the air and be able to start doing water drops, and then come behind it.
Thank you for watching today's episode. Please leave a like and subscribe down at the bottom. Don't forget to hit that notification bell.